UFC 113, what do you think of the main event? It's a great main event. I thought the first fight was great. I thought the first one could have went anyway, either way. I thought Ua maybe would have taken it, but I mean, Lyoto's the champ, so I thought you got to beat the champ to take the belt.
Yeah, that fight there I scored, I think it was 3 rounds to 2 for Shogun or 4 rounds to 1 for Shogun. Only because, again, I draw that line and I start marking down everything. I think he did a bit more to win that fight. Everyone thinks that Machida now is going to have enough time to recuperate and put a new game plan together for Shogun. Again, it boils down to Muay Thai versus karate, right? And Machida's a bad man. I mean, this guy, the dangerous thing about Machida that Shogun's going to have to deal with, which sort of happened in the first fight, is the counterattack. And Machida lives off you being aggressive. And Shogun can't get aggressive. The one thing that I believe is an intangible in this fight is I think Shogun's in Machida's head.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what he says.
Well, he's the only one who hurt him.
Right? No matter what anyone says, no matter what Machida says, once they get back into the cage, he's going to realize, okay, this is the last time I fought this guy, I potentially didn't win this fight. So you're looking at a situation where Shogun is going to be a little bit more aggressive, he's not going to be afraid, and he's going to be looking to finish his fight.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. How about the semi-main event, Paul Daly, Josh Koscheck? I think either one has a chance against St. Pierre?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, here's the breakdown of this fight here. Both these guys are going to talk a lot of trash. Okay. This fight's going to sell a lot more than the main event. And would I like to see Koscheck fight St. Pierre? Of course I would. I think it's a great matchup, another wrestler against the best wrestler in MMA. But I think I'd rather see Paul Daly against George St. Pierre, only because what you'll see in Paul Daly is an escalated version of Dan Hardy. Yeah. Paul Daly is not going to back down from George St. Pierre. He'll get right in George St. Pierre's face, and George, for the first time, will really be dealing with someone that's that's going to bring a different element to the trash talking game. Not like a BJ Penn, not like a Matt Serra, not like a Dan Hardy, a very almost abusive type trash talking. If Paul Daly can get past Koscheck, the difference is this. It just goes back to my original theory. Yeah. If Koscheck wants to stand and trade with Paul Daly, he's playing fire with fire. You're going to get burned. Yeah. You take Daly down to the ground and you ground and pound and TKO him. Because Paul Daly, one punch will knock Koscheck out. He's got that kind of power.
Anyone in welterweight.
Yeah, it'd be like should Paul Daly try and take Koscheck down to the ground? Yeah. No. Koscheck should just go to plan A, take Daly down to the ground and grind out a victory. If Daly does pull this off, watch out.
Big fight.
Yeah.
How about GSP, Anderson Silva? What do you think would happen there?
I told GSP in this camp I don't want to see that fight anymore.
No, I don't either.
It was something I wanted to see a long time ago until I saw Forrest Griffin take that beating from Anderson Silva, and I realized, okay, there's a not only is the skill level potentially the same, it's a different weight class. It's just so much bigger. I mean, it'd be like George St. Pierre moving up to middleweight and taking out, a Nate Marquardt, a Damian Maia, and Dan Henderson, the way Anderson Silva took out Forrest Griffin. It'd be very difficult. But the guy that's going to beat Anderson Silva is the guy that has the same type of fighting style as George St. Pierre, the wrestler. Yeah. The wrestler that can get inside, put him on his back, and ground and pound him, avoid the submissions. And that guy could be Chael Sonnen. Yeah. Could be Chael Sonnen. People are saying, oh, Anderson's on a different level. Yeah, he's on a different level.
For sure.
And the best quote is Chael Sonnen when he says he's 5 punches away from ending the fight. Meaning, round 1, Anderson throws a punch, he's inside, takes him down. Round 2, second punch, third punch. And people are going to discount Chael Sonnen all he wants, but he's got that. You can't stand and trade with Anderson Silva. If you do that, you're not going to last long. No, Machida can't do it. Shogun can't do it. These guys can't do it. You got to get him on his back, take him out of his element, and now make it a fair fight.
For sure. How about Kimbo and making his Canadian debut? What do you think of that? You excited for it, or?
Yeah. Kimbo's an awesome dude, man. Yeah. Kimbo treated me like gold at UFC 100. He treated all of us really good. And the one thing I like about Kimbo is once those camera lights are on, he knows how to act.
Oh, for sure.
And he gets the sport. He was actually, the one thing I tell people all the time is at UFC 100, when they introduced the cast for The Ultimate Fighter Season 10, Kimbo came out, he got all the spotlights, and when the scrum started, everyone put their mics in front of Kimbo, and I was asking all these questions because I didn't know if we were going to get him as a one-on-one. Yeah. And I'm asking. Finally, my producer came, put a shoulder on me, and whispered in my ear. He's like, "Dude, stop! You're giving everything away." Kimbo gave me this look, like, "What's wrong with you, man?" Right? And then as soon as we got him upstairs in the UFC booth, we sat him down. We quickly set up the lights and camera. He just came upstairs. He looked at me. He's like, "Why would you give all your questions away to all those other media guys?" Yeah. I said, I didn't know if I was going to get you up here,
You
right?
wanted that time.
He's like, you know what, we can do all those questions again, and I'll give you more, no problem. What do you need from me?
Awesome.
And I was like, this is the guy that people are calling a thug.
Yeah.
This is the guy that people are saying is terrible for the sport. I see the complete opposite in Kimbo Slice. And when he takes out Matt Mitrione, it's going to be a good fight, because Mitrione,
He's got some big hands.
he can land some bombs, right? The only problem that I have with Kimbo Slice now, just look at his eyes.
Yeah.
He's lost that killer instinct because he came from a street fighting sort of background, obviously.
Yeah.
Then he got trained in MMA and got humbled in the gym so much that now when he gets into the octagon, he sees his opponents as guys that have just the same amount of skills as he does.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of scares a fighter. So I believe he needs to just sit there and just
Get mean
let
again.
it go.
Yeah,
Let
get
it go.
mean.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's going on here with Vancouver? I mean, it's on again, it's off again, it's on again. Everyone's wondering, are we going to have UFC in Canada anywhere else but Montreal?
Yeah, well, what's happening in Vancouver right now is there's about 7 things, as of today.
Yeah.
As of today. I mean, by the time we hit stop on this interview, it might change. It's up, excuse me, it's up and down. They're still talking about insurance, liability insurance, medical insurance, a security plan, which rules they're going to use, a whole whack of stuff. And it's just, they got to hire a doctor because the previous doctor supposedly quit because he got sick and tired of the city. You know? Yeah, it's
crazy.
This stuff should have been taken care of when they voted unanimously to have that 2-year trial for mixed martial arts.
For sure.
That was in December.
Yeah.
It's April. Come
Come
on.
behind on the ball.
A little behind the ball. So hopefully it gets done in Vancouver because I've never been to Vancouver. I want to go out there and check out the city itself,
Yeah.
but remains to be seen. I'm optimistic. I'm crossing my fingers because I really want to get out to Vancouver.
So am I. I mean, last year with Montreal, I was having the same kind of heart attack. But I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if it comes, it'll be great. I expect it to, and I hope it helps bring it back to Ontario. Because I mean, in Ontario, we have the best fans. We have the biggest pay-per-view per person market. I mean, everyone here who loves MMA, they're knowledgeable. They're great fans. They're not booers. I mean, if we had someone in the Rogers Center, it'd explode.
Yeah, but the only issue is Ontario is a completely different dilemma in
Yeah.
terms of the government here. It's a completely different aspect than what you see in Vancouver and Montreal and all other states. And in Ontario, it's a different beast, it's a different animal. A lot of things need to get taken care of behind the scenes. More than just what McGinty says, more than what anyone else says. They need to just look at the Ontario Athletic Commission and revamp it, completely change it, and then we'll see MMA fights here in Ontario.
Ontario legislation, what's going on? Do we have a lot of signatures? Is Dalton even going to listen?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are going up there, but I mean, hopefully people could still get on that website, get on the petition, sign it, spread the word, because if you sign it and don't tell anyone else about it, then it's one person, but if you tell a few other people, then they tell people, it will spread pretty quickly. I mean, if those who haven't seen it yet, it's www.ipetitions.com/petition/Ontario MMA. All it simply says is we're asking Dalton McGinty to task his minister, to task the Ontario Athletic Commissioner to take a look at the unified rules of mixed martial arts and just get it done. I mean, the athletes want to compete here, the fans want to see it. We're not asking to reinvent the wheels. It's something pretty basic. From my understanding, he's saying he's tapping out. Then you have the leader of the Conservative Party saying if he came into power, he'd do it. So it's just a matter of time. Whether McGinty does it under his term, or if Tim Hedoak becomes the new premier, it'll happen under his term. Either way, it's going to happen. I'm also hearing, as late as 2010, early 2011. But like I said, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've had the rug pulled from underneath me on numerous occasions. So we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll be back to talk to you after this all happens. I'm sure it'll be happening soon. Thanks a lot, Joe, and make sure to check MMA Connected in.